Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome and congratulate Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. And thank you to my good friend Amy Poehler for that lovely introduction. I have a lot of family and friends here today, and I hope that you convince them to love me, because you certainly convinced me to love me. Thank you, TV Academy, for inexplicably inducting me into your Hall of Fame tonight. I look forward to generations of TV fans visiting the Hall of Fame to admire my bust. And you know, honestly, you don't get all fancy and famous by yourself. I have so many people to thank, family, friends, and colleagues, and I can't possibly thank them all by name without making you stay here another extra hour and a half, except for my agent, Mike Rosenfeld, because if I didn't mention him, his nose gets all bent out of joint, so Mike Rosenfeld. When I was a little girl, all I wanted to do was put on a show. We had a group of kids in our neighborhood in Washington, D.C., and we called ourselves Julia and the Umbrella People. I was Julia, obviously. And we put on shows in the basement, and we charged our parents $1 to see them. And about halfway through every single show, my dad would say, "Okay, kids, is that about it?" And we'd say, "No, Dad, no, it's not even halfway over." And I know this is hard to believe, but we were good, okay? We were goddamn good. One of our shows was Sorry, Wrong Number, for which my sister Lauren, who is here tonight, ran the lights, or I guess I should say, ran the light. I'll never forget when that show ended, its one-night run. Our neighbor, Mrs. Paul, said, "Well, that wasn't that bad." We had another hit. Obviously, we didn't do those shows for the money or for the critical praise. We did them for the fun. My favorite teacher in high school was my physics teacher, Mr. Coyne. And Mr. Coyne had a motto that I think is very worthy of remembering. Have fun at all costs. That's what my physics teacher said. And to tell you the truth, that's really just about the only thing I remember from high school. Have fun at all costs. And when I think about my TV career, that's what comes to mind is fun. The fun that I have had making all of these hundreds of TV shows that, you know, I mean, and most shows, at the end of the year, they put together a gag reel at the end of the year, and it's kind of a blooper reel. You've all seen them. But to be honest with you, that is my absolute favorite thing to watch. I almost never, ever look at old episodes of Seinfeld or Old Christine or even Veep, but I absolutely watch the gag reels because they are a reminder of the ridiculous fun that I've had making all of this crazy television. And now that there's all this social media crap everywhere, I get immediate feedback from people. And some of it's pretty crazy. Well, actually, that's not accurate. Some of it is batshit, frighteningly, call the cops insane crazy. But some of it is genuinely touching and revealing. People all over the world who thank me for a particular Seinfeld episode, or remember some obscure guest spot that I did, or tell me I brightened up their morning or got them through a difficult time. And it seems corny, I know, and I am a very sophisticated person who is above cheap sentiment for the masses. But to tell you the truth, it can be kind of great. It's a tremendous reminder of the power of humor and the permanence of TV. For better or worse, this stuff lasts forever. I just did the math, actually, on my way over here, and I've been working in television for 97 years. My first job was Saturday Night Live, and I still can't believe I got to do that show. Well, in fact, I'm not sure that I did. And if you watch the seasons when I was in the cast, you might not be sure that I ever did that show either. That was a long time ago, and I've pretty much kept at this television thing ever since. But producing a television show is much harder than most people realize. It's creatively hard, it's technically hard, it is relentless. And when I see bad TV, and God knows there's plenty of bad TV, I really feel for the people that make it, because most of the time they don't want it to be bad. They don't. And bad TV is hard to make too. The TV process is just a minefield. At the absolute height of the success of Seinfeld, my husband Brad, who was producing a considerably less successful show at the time, ran into Larry David as they were both getting into their cars to go home at 2:30 in the morning. And Brad said, "Oh, God, Larry, you must be so happy. Your show is the best cast ever. It's #1 in the ratings. You don't get any notes or interference from the network. You just must be in heaven." And Larry shook his head and he said, "There is no joy, not 1 minute of joy." He did. That's how hard TV is. So hard that you sometimes, even when it's going well, you can lose sight of the fact that we are all so lucky, so profoundly lucky, to work in TV at all. This season on Veep, we were sitting around one late night, racking our brains for creative ways to use a truly offensive word that starts with the C and ends with the T. And we came up with Hunter S. Thompson. And yes, I am very proud of that. Thank you. There we were, Veep's 150 highly trained craftspeople, living my teacher, Mr. Coyne's motto, have fun at all costs. And boy, I have had such fun. I've worked in the best ensembles and collaborated with the most talented writers and directors and crews to play a parade of characters who have been foolish and weak and flawed and human, and thank God, mostly pretty funny. To me, laughter is kind of what makes life worth living, and that laughter is my profession, that I get to be a part of such a joyful process week in and week out. Well, I'm just so deeply thankful for that good fortune, and I'm working hard to make sure that that good fortune continues for a long, long time. Nothing has really changed since Julia and the Umbrella People. We're just putting on a show. Thank you very much for this extraordinary honor. Thanks.